Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gashi's Command TV. The government of William Samoei Ruto is in hot soup. The government of Kenya is under close watch by the United States of America. The US Senate wants deep review of Kenya non-ally status, non-NATO ally status, as far as it is concerned. And the report must be given within 180 days. There is panic in State House. There is panic in the corridors of power. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenya has been on bad books since Donald Trump became the president of the United States of America. The relationship between Kenya and USA has been dwindling every day since Donald Trump became the president of the Republic of Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, what is happening here? Why would the Senate move with speed? Why would the US come out strongly with an ally who has been very, very close for many years? What is at stake? Where have we gone wrong, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I want us to look at the issues at hand, the issues that are of concern to the United States of American government. Number one, in my view, is that you know very well that Kenya has been supporting rebel movements. A rebel movement has been coming to Kenya, that is from Sudan, making press conferences, and the latest indication is that the government of Kenya was actually allowing arms to be imported through the country when they were going to be used to kill people in Sudan. And I remember this arms deal were touching on our government. And when this occurs, then I knew, in fact, when this happened, when this information came out, I told a close friend, watch the relationship between Kenya and the West, Europe and USA. And I think the other European countries are soon going to follow suit. The other thing is about the embezzling of funds for the Haiti mission. When you look at the Haiti mission, this is something that was being funded by the United Nations, and so many countries had volunteered to fund this mission. But there seems to be a problem, truth be told, when it comes to these funds. There is also a lot of laxity when it comes to actually contributing these funds. And the USA government is very much worried about the way the money is being used. The other thing is about the DRC. Remember, we had to merge the East African peacekeeping and the SADC in Nairobi because of mistrust. Kenya was seen as a dishonest broker. Kenyans, people high in government, have been accused of actually being involved in gold in the DRC. Some of them have been accused of supporting the rebel movement. And this is very, very much annoying, not only to the US, but to any other person. Remember, imagine, people are fighting, people are killing each other, but there are some leaders who are actually benefiting out of this blood money. And the other thing is about the extrajudicial killing. In fact, the US do not miss words. There has been extrajudicial killings in Kenya. Civilians have been killed by the policemen. Kenyans have lost their lives since William Samoei Ruto became the president. How many Kenyans have been killed by the police? How many? Some of them not even in demonstrations. How many? There are many. If you go with human rights record, the number is almost 200. people who have died because of extrajudicial killing. And you remember William Samoei Ruto, when he said that these people who actually demonstrate near police stations, they should be gunned, should be shot on the leg. I said, surely, this one coming from William Samoei Ruto, the President of the Republic of Kenya, now supporting this is extrajudicial killing. You know, some things may look very simple when you are uttering them, but the consequences are disastrous. There is also the kidnapping. Kidnapping. Because when you look at Kenya, there appear to be another state outside the main state. And the other state seems not to let even the other know what they are doing. The deep state, that's what we are calling the deep state, seems to be the one behind the abductions, behind the kidnappings. And we have seen in broad daylight things happening. And I said, you know, when you do this to Kenyans, you are destroying the economy of Kenya. You are destroying our motherland. Because you see, when you see America coming, racing, pointing a finger and saying the review of our status, non-NATO allied NATO status, has to be reviewed because of this, then you understand this is something that is very, very important as far as America is very serious when it comes to human rights. Very, very serious. You cannot just come up and start killing people, start abducting people. And then there is also the issue of torture. Remember Boniface Mwangi with his harrowing experience in Tanzania? And you see, what is being repeated in Tanzania seems to be what is happening in Kenya. So there seems to be a coordinated effort to torture Kenyans, those who are actually associated with human rights, those who actually try to point mistakes, those who try to criticize the government. And I also noted that, you know, they talked about Kenya's relation with Iran, relationship with Russia, with China. This is about foreign policy. You know, as far as American government is concerned, it is American interest first. So when you try to do something that does not seem to favor the American government, then you are their enemy. You know, in this relationship between Kenya and China, we have seen the government taking illegal loans that are not ratified by the government, loans that are not ratified by parliament. The president and his team wakes up, go to China, negotiate. Nobody knows the terms of negotiation. Then the money comes. Nobody knows how the money has been spent. Then the Chinese come, construct bridges, construct roads, and Kenyans are told to pay the money. That is why you have heard Okia Mtata talking about illegal loans. That's why you have heard Jimmy Wajigi telling Kenyans that we don't owe anybody money. So what is happening since William Samoei Ruto became the president? I think our debt ceiling has been abused. We have gone all the way to 11 point something trillion. That is the truth of the matter. William Samoei Ruto continue to borrow money from China, and we cannot see what the money is doing. And there is a lot of corruption, if you ask me. The government of William Samoei Ruto is hopelessly corrupt. Just yesterday, we saw the report that you Kenyans have become bribe givers. Wherever you go, you cannot get any service until you bribe. You bribe to go to be treated in hospitals. You bribe to operate on the road. You bribe the policemen. You bribe everyone. You bribe. In fact, somebody was telling me that there's bribe even in churches. For your child to be baptized in some churches, you have to cough something. Ladies and gentlemen, where is our country headed to? Is Kenya about to collapse? What do you think? When you see a toad running in the daytime, something is after its life. Siku ya kufa nyani, miti yote hutereza, ama kweli kifo cha nyani kimefika. That is my take, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what you think about this, but the US Senate has asked for a deep review of Kenya's NATO non-allied NATO status, which is very, very significant politically speaking. And this is a message that the 2027 general election, William Samoei Ruto do need to sweat when it comes to rating with the US government. Bye-bye.